Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2022 BMW 230i. Up front is a 2.0 liter turbocharged inline-4, and down below is an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this here 2 Series for a couple of reasons, but mainly the fact that I love the 2 Series, always have, hopefully always will, but this is the brand new car for the 2022 model year. I haven't driven one in this body style yet, and I have some thoughts about the exterior. But before we get on to anything else, I have a website, zachpradel.com, where you can buy stickers and other merchandise when it becomes available. You could also submit your own vehicle to be reviewed by me through a quick and easy submission form, and you get a video of your car just like this one. And you could read my behind the scenes blog to see what I'm filming before it comes out on the channel. But let's get back to that 2-liter turbo under the hood, making around 255 horsepower. Well, first of all, that means that this car is no slouch. It definitely gets up and goes and gets out of its own way. This is the 230. You can also get the 240, which would come with an inline 6-cylinder engine for more power if that's something that you would like. But right here in the 2-liter, I'm actually pretty happy with it. The biggest thing, the coolest thing in my opinion, is that talking to the owner, he drove this vehicle from here in Wisconsin down to New Mexico and got 40 miles to the gallon while doing it. That is pretty impressive. Now, like I said, paired to it is an 8-speed automatic transmission. BMW's been using 8 speeds for quite some time. However, the manual option has since been dropped for this body style, so you can no longer find regular 2 Series in manuals. If you do want a manual, you'll have to go up to the BMW M2. Last but not least, this 230i is rear-wheel drive. Now, how does it actually drive with the rear-wheel drive, the turbo 2-liter, and the 8-speed? What's the driving experience? Well, it's good. It's great, actually. I really, really enjoy it. The car has a really nice turn-in. It feels nice and planted. I love the size of the 2 Series because it really echoes the old E36, E30s, 3 Series. You know, cars have gotten so much bigger, and it really echoes that in my mind, and I love that. The power is very, very usable. 250 horsepower is all you really need out of a car like this. Yeah, I mentioned earlier you can opt for a larger engine, but I don't think you really have to. And that's always nice, to not feel like you have a power deficit. It's very, very fun to drive. And so, it's good. It's very good. So that's out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a giant digital screen. Off to the left is my speedometer, off to the right is my tachometer, and then I get a bunch of customizable options in the center. I really like this gauge setup. It is very fresh, very new, very modern, especially here for the 2 Series. But again, the 2023 actually gets a larger display, so this is a 1-year only display. However, dealing with the one in front of me, I absolutely love it. I think it really makes the car feel fresh, modern, and just special too. I really, of course, like that. On the steering wheel on the left, I have my radar cruise control options. So this does have adjusting radar cruise, and something I would expect out of a modern BMW. And off to the right, I have my volume, scroll wheel, voice commands, and in the center, I get my heated steering wheel, as well as paddle shifters around the back of the wheel itself. Off to the left, I do have a climate control vent, as well as my headlight switches and gauge dimmer switches. On the door, I have my lock and unlock and memory seat options. And down below, I have my power mirrors and power windows. I do have power folding mirrors as well. Moving into the center, this is BMW's infotainment system. There's so much stuff to do in here, and look at my personal favorite are the performance pages. I think that's really nice, but I do get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, both of which are wireless. BMW, one of the first manufacturers to have Apple CarPlay back in 2014, right after Ferrari. But my other favorite thing in here is the 360 camera. You can actually take a look at your BMW 2 Series from an outside glimpse, and they even color matched it. So in the display, it is still the Melbourne Red Metallic that you ordered your car in. I find that to be incredibly special and really, really thorough as well. Down below the infotainment, we do have our hazard switch and bubble button. This will turn off some safety features. And then I have the climate controls. So the climate controls do get the little digital readout from the BMW 7 Series, or at least it looks similar to that. I really like that. I just drove an X7 not too long ago. And then I have my physical climate controls down here, heated seats, dual zone, all of the fixins. However, again, this whole climate control and radio section is a 1 year only. They switched it for 2023. Speaking of which, I have the radio volume knob down below and my favorites buttons. You can set these to be whatever function you want, which I think is really cool. BMW has sort of led the way with this, and I really, really like that. If you have a navigation point you always go to, up north, a cabin, a lake house, you could set that to number 2, and then when you hit that, it'll start navigating you that way. I really, really love that. Then we do have a center little cubby. I get a USB, I get my 12-volt outlet, and of course, cup holders. So we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the 2022 BMW 230i, and unfortunately, it fails. I did not expect it to pass. Most BMWs do not pass, so par for the course. Then we have the center shifter area. So off to the left, I do have the shifter itself. I could take it or leave it. I'm not in love with it. It's kind of stubby. But then I do have traction control off, my camera buttons, parking sensors, automatic start stop on and off, my ignition button, and then my drive mode. So I do have Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro, as well as I have my auto holding brake and power parking brake. Off to the right of all of that, I have the selector for the center infotainment screen. I've always praised BMW for this. They feel fantastic, very notchy, very clicky, and very, very enjoyable to use. Then I get a center console with a USB-C, a very modern USB port. And then we gotta talk about the seats. Now, these aren't any special competition Vader seats, but they are very comfortable. They are power, they are memory, they are heated, and they're holding me in really well. And I'm a big guy, and I don't always fit in sportier seats, so I'm happy to see that. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats. So let's go do a backseat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2022 BMW 230i, and not the best if I'm honest, but it's a coupe. You shouldn't expect a whole lot. Even the 4-door sedan 2 Series that you can now get, not good back seats. So this is pretty run-of-the-mill. I could put the seat back, but this is not gonna be good. Yeah, not great. Very, very unusable back seats. You have them in a pinch if you need them, but not the best. Let's go hop out. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, so we're on the back of the 230i, and I do have a button here on the key to unlock it, and then you just pull up like that. And you do actually get a fairly sizable trunk. I have to say, I'm very impressed with this in terms of just space for a little coupe like this. Get this nice BMW floor mat. These nets, 2022 exclusive, no longer offered on the 2023. And I do get a 12-volt outlet. That is very, very hard to find in cars of this size. Absolutely love that. That's great for tire inflators, camping, whatever it might be. So overall, ooh, and actually, you do get some BMW SOS stuff up here. I love this because the older BMWs used to have toolkits here. Now it's just basically call your service provider, whatever. But I think that that's really, really cool. Now we have to talk about the looks. And this was the most controversial thing that was talked about when this car debuted last year. It looks weird. It looks different. And so I love it now. I really, really do. I feel like BMW is almost like gaslighting me because they keep releasing these cars and my immediate jerk reaction is, oh, it's so ugly. And then I just learned to love them over time, and now I think this is a very handsome, very attractive coupe. I think it looks really good. It's still very iconically a BMW 2 Series, but it's also modern. It's not that old design that they've been using forever and ever and ever. It's fresh, it's clean, it's angular, it's angry, and that's sort of in right now. Also paired with the Melbourne Red Metallic, which is a fantastic paint color from BMW. I think overall, what I thought was a foul ball actually turned out to be a home run, and I just love it. I really, really do. But now, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think finally driving the redesigned BMW 2 Series from 2022? Well, I'm happy to report that there's Well, not really much that I don't like. I'm not a big fan of these shifters that BMW's been doing. They're short and stubby and weird, and I'm not in love with that. But that's sort of where my critiques end. It's fun. It's a very engaging, very fun car to drive. And yet it also has the creature comforts that I would look for in a daily driver. The heated seats and steering wheel, the usable Apple CarPlay, USB chargers all around. It's comfortable. It's quiet enough. I know, I yell in these reviews a lot. That's a character flaw of mine, but I don't have to yell in this car. I can pleasantly enjoy it. And yet when I want to turn it up and have some fun, I most certainly can do that. That's a lot of fun. I'm a big, big fan of that. I really, really enjoy the driving experience, and that's something that BMW has really knocked out of the park time and time again. I am so enthralled and excited to tell you that that story of BMW, the perfect driving machine, continues on in 2022. And now, well, 2023. Huge thank you to Spencer for letting me take out his BMW 2 Series. Spencer actually works at BMW, so if you would like to purchase one of these, or if you would like some more information, his contact info will be found in the description below. Highly recommend reaching out. He's very, very knowledgeable about these cars, and he will find the right spec and model for you. He is also a BMW enthusiast. He owns several of them, of which I'm filming, and he's just all around a good guy. So huge thank you to Spencer. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.